Tammy Pally, aka the Crafty Princess, and today I'm filming a knit vlog of sorts. As I've probably mentioned in previous podcasts, when I was podcasting, I've sort of wrapped up the podcast. For me personally, I want something that is a little bit more, I don't know, not quite as stringent as I have to have this every week on this day. I have to film and I have to show this and this and that. And so instead, I'm just going to do vicarious vlogs about topics that I tend to discuss and also blog about on my tammypally.com site. And that, of course, includes various types of crafts and doll collecting and also crafting for dolls. So today I'm talking about my knitting, and I'm working on a project now that I've really been enjoying, and I feel like as a beginning knitter, I'm learning quite a bit as I work through this project. Now, it is a beginning level, project, by the way, so don't laugh at me, those people who are much more experienced than I am, I guess. But it's a free pattern called Taylor. That's what looks like on there. And this is, this is in color, I guess. I must have done it. The designer is Jennifer Lyson. She did it for Cedar House Yarns. All right. So, and as you can see, it's just a simple, sort of a shawlette because it's not super big. And considering I live in the South, I live in Florida, so we don't get many cold days. But I do find something like this, like a scarf or small shawl, when we do have cold days, I can wrap it around my neck and it keeps me nice and warm because it's not too often that I wear an actual coat. I do have a winter coat. I bought it when I was probably 20, and I am well past 20. And I still pull it out every year and wear it for a few days, but normally we just kind of layer up. And so this type of shawl actually works quite well. And here's what I have so far. Okay. And the yarn that I'm using is, here's the card, Expression Fiber Arts. I really like her yarn, and I have used it for a number of projects so far. I have some fingerless gloves that I believe I showed in one of my pattern reviews. Was a line brand called, it's not called fingerless gloves, it's a free line brand pattern. What's it called? Wristers. They're called wristers. But anyway, I have that on my website, on my YouTube site. But yeah, this is Expression Fiber Arts yarn. It's called Resilient is the type of yarn she calls it. Superwash Merino Sock. So it's, let's see, it is, does she not have it? Superwash Merino Sock yarn. So it's nylon and wool. She doesn't have that on here though. Superwash Merino Sock, 366 meters or 400 yards. Suggested size knitting needle is US size 0 to 2, crochet hook B to E, hand wash or machine wash. But I believe if I remember correctly, it's a combination of wool and nylon. Sort of like 75-20 or something like that. But if you get on her website, it'll have it on there. And this colorway is called Puppy. Puppy. So if you're familiar with her at all, she hand dyes these yarns, and then she'll show pictures, like she'll show a picture of an adorable little puppy with a skein of this yarn. And I'm sorry, that just reels me in. It's very dangerous for me. But you can see from the pattern, there's actually 3 triangles in the center. And so far I have the first triangle done, and I'm now into the second triangle. But I've really been enjoying this because I'm learning, I'm learning to read the patterns better. I'm getting better at keeping track of things. That's one of the problems with, I'm able to read, but then I figure I have trouble remembering where I'm at, and it's really hard for me to read my stitches. I can read the pattern, but reading the stitches is still not easy for me. And I've actually learned how to tink quite well, which if you're new to knitting, that's knit backwards. So you're basically knitting backwards, which sucks in a way because that means you are losing all those rows that you tink are going away. But it's been good for me because that way I don't have to. In the past, when I was very first starting out, I would have ripped out the whole thing because I didn't understand how to go back. It's not like crochet is so easy. If you make a mistake, it's so easy. You just pull it out, stick your hook back in, you're good to go. Knitting is not like that. So this requires that you use a couple of stitch markers. I don't know if you can see those on here. Yeah, can you see? I can't see when I put my, there you can see them. And so the just FYI, the type of stitches you need to know how to do. Obviously, you need to know how to knit. You need to know how to purl, but there's not a ton of purling. This little line here is created when you purl one time, so not difficult if you hate purling. Obviously, you have to cast on and cast off. And in fact, they have you, one of the things they have you do in here that was new to me was casting on at the end of a row. So if you get to the end of the row and you want to add a couple more stitches, you cast them on. So that was something I had to Google and find a video or two on YouTube. What else? Oh, you have to be able to knit front and back, and then knit two together. And then, of course, pay attention to your stitch marker and that kind of thing. So it's not really too difficult, and there are sections of it that are quite repetitive. So when you get to a section and it says, for example, I'm just about to a point now, let's see, I'm on the second section, and at that point it says repeat rows 4 and 5 until you have 40 stitches ending on row 4. So I'm now at a point where I will be able to, because I'm going to start, it's going to start decreasing. So there's going to be quite a section of repetitive, just 2 rows back and forth. Okay, again, even with I'm only doing 2 rows back and forth, I often lose my place, especially if I stop or something, I come back and I don't remember. So what I do is I actually write notes on here, so I know I'm going to have, I'll have on here repeat row 4 and 5. So in fact, here you can see what I did when I first did it. Row 4 and 5 down here. Okay, and I just do a hashtag. Okay, I just did one. I just did one. So yeah, that's probably kind of sad that my brain cannot handle doing 2 rows, alternating, and not remembering. After I do a row, what row did I just do? I don't know. But this is the type of stuff I'll do in front of the TV, so I'm not really concentrating massively on it. And that's been enjoyment for me, because normally knitting is something I have to really, really, really pay attention to. And even though, yes, I have, like I said, I've tinked back because I've screwed things up, but I've been able to still, you know, make progress on this. And I guess at this point I'm about halfway through, right? So yeah. And I really like how the yarn, I think it's kind of cool how it's striped here. That's pretty amazing. Then we got some pooling going on, then some striping, then some pooling. So I like the way it's looking. Yeah, it's pretty. It's kind of a, and I think it is coming out true to color. It's a blue and pinkish, so it's coming out true to color on the camera. Yeah, that's what's on my needle so far. I really don't have any other knitting projects. As crochet, I'm so used to doing, I usually have a couple crochet projects going on, but I will say this has kind of been potato chip knitting for me, which is new to me. I don't have to concentrate a ton on it, and yeah, I'm getting kind of better in the groove and that kind of thing. So if you're a newbie knitter, I would definitely recommend the Taylor. If you're experienced and you want something that's super easy, I would recommend the Taylor. Okay, there it is. Again, that's Taylor by Jennifer Lyson for Cedar House Yarns. Free pattern. I got it through Ravelry, and yeah, I'm really having a good time with this. There you go. Yay me. Yay me and my knitting. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful crafting day. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe so you can get information about whenever I post a video. You should get some sort of a notification. And if you don't, which by the way, I know that happens sometimes, you don't get notifications, because I subscribe to at least 50 or more channels, and I very often will go over to somebody's channel and go, I wonder why so-and-so hasn't posted a video lately. Well, they have, but YouTube decided not to tell me about it. So head over there sometime. If you have go over to your YouTube channel and check on your subscriptions, because there could be a lot of videos from me and other people you subscribe to that you just don't even know about because YouTube decided not to tell you. But yeah, have a wonderful crafting day again, and thank you so much for watching.